I literally started doing something else and was like, oh, I'm supposed to be
Oh my gosh. Okay. Because I just knew this what you was about to do, but I have yet to get the notification. So
I don't get no notification.
I don't know. It'll be like Swagger has gone live. That's what it would normally say.
Sometimes I get, sometimes I don't on my personal page, but not on my business page. But hey, y'all, hey, welcome to another episode of Theories and Thoughts Podcast with your hostess Anya. And
Fancy.
I was sitting here. I pride myself on posting every day on my page, A Confident Woman. But now that I'm back in the office, I forgot this morning. So I was like, let me hurry and put some on there real quick.
You gotta get you a scheduler.
I do. I
A
need
scheduling platform to use.
I need to do that. There's a lot of little different things I need to do. That I keep forgetting, like that'll help me. Like
Right.
use my planner, little stuff like that. That would
I,
actually help me be organized.
Yeah, I really have to use my calendar now, but I have a planner. It started last month. I think I was supposed to that was the official date. And I was like, oh, I got this time. So since I had it ahead of time, and now I just cannot seem to pick it up and get into that thing for anything. But I have now that I'm in these other courses, like these classes that I'm taking, I definitely have to use my calendar though.
I have to use my calendar as well. And I'm just like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I use my calendar. I need to use my planner to put other stuff. As far as appointments and stuff, that's in my phone calendar. But I need to write out stuff, and I really need to become disciplined in that. So how was your weekend? What did you get into?
I went to yoga with the I want to remember the name. A Sister's Love. I don't know why I cannot think of the name. I'm gonna search that, when I have a minute and correct it. But it was hosted by one organization. I know her name is Dominique, who was actually the organizer. And then the yoga was facilitated by, I think her name is Nikki Scott of the Yoga Noor Project. So it was really nice, and it was just a nice opportunity to get out of the house and do something for myself, because it seems like I never go anywhere. Of course, my boyfriend talked me into going. He really pushed me in. We were kind of like, he had gave me this long speech about just, I guess just having, I'm not going to say having a life of my own, but I do think, especially in relationships, that it's important that you have a life of your own. So I don't know if that's why he's encouraging me to make certain I have something there or what, but I was like, okay, as opposed to taking offense, I'm just going to find something. So I just went on Eventbrite, and that was the second event that I found. So, but it was good. I'm glad that I went. And then Sundays, we always watch Raising Kanan. Do you watch that?
No.
Nobody seems to watch this that I know.
I never watched Power.
Okay, see, I didn't really watch Power, but it's like everybody watch Power. So I'm like, now that I actually have committed to watching Raising Kanan every week, nobody is watching it, and I just be like, I be wanting to talk to somebody about it because it'd be so good to me. So,
girl, I got into this weekend. I seen you did yoga. I was like, okay, sis. I did the American Heart Association heart walk.
Oh, okay.
It was virtual. I did that on Saturday, so that was exciting. But listen, I got into All the Queen's Men, baby. Okay, that's the one. Oh yeah.
I cannot. I don't know. When I saw the premiere for that, I just was like, I wonder what this gonna be about. And then
here's the thing is this. It brought me back to my college days, my 20-something days when we used to go to the strip club. It made me think about that. And see, I was always cheap. So I was just like, I'm just gonna bring this $20 in here, and that's gonna be what that is. And I'm the same way at the strip club as I am at the casino. $20 and I'm done. Yeah. So you get $1. Don't come over here no more. But it was good. It passed the stripping part, and it had a lot of graphic sex scenes. So
what is it? What is it on?
It's on BET Plus.
Okay. All right.
And I have BET Plus from the Miss Pat show.
Oh, I remember you mentioning that show.
And I really enjoyed that one too. So BET got some programming coming, like on BET Plus though. So Miss Pat show was good. That's gonna mean all the all the Queen's men was good. That was actually a book by Christian Keys, and he's actually in there too. That fine thing. And
Oh, the light skinned dude.
yes,
He wrote a book.
I guess he wrote a book. It's a screenplay, something, a book, something by him. He's
Oh,
a producer as well, and they have another one that's called Bigger. Bigger reminds me of, well, there's some people. See, I used to watch Black and Sexy TV. I used to watch Issa, and then I've watched Dear Black People, Dear White People. So I've seen a lot of characters from all of that, from Issa's show, from Black and Sexy, from just different things. So they're all in Bigger. So that was good too. That's really good. It's interesting. So
I think I remember Bigger. Do you remember the star's name?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who she is, but yeah, it was real good. I've been checking those out. I don't really get to watch TV, but I think I just been getting into it a little bit more, just a little bit. And why I work is kind of off to the side, so it's really like white noise until something happened. I'm like, wait, what happened? And then I can rewind it.
Yeah.
But Eva did a great job in All the Queens Men. She did a great job. She does excellent.
Well, just last question. Is this like, so is it, what was it, the whole series drop? Was it a series?
The whole season.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watching everything at one time because I watched the first Wives Club with Jill Scott too. And I watched both seasons all the way through. But then you want more.
Right.
And that's on BET Plus too. Shout out to BET Plus. They need to give us a sponsorship. Because listen, let me figure that out. But yeah, Akeem, good night to you too, sir. Good night.
Good night.
So over the weekend, several things happened. Pop Smoke gravesite got vandalized. It seemed like they were trying to pull his body out. Why y'all trying to take his body? What's up with that? That was weird. I don't even like graveyards.
Yeah. It just seemed really sad being how he was killed and everything. And then y'all was still like, okay, can he at least rest in peace? That's what I would be thinking.
That's what I was thinking too. Our girl Uzo Adoba.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know who I'm talking about too.
Well, you said it, okay, because I was about to say, I realized that her name, like the way you see it normally online, it's like the 3 letters, but then her full name is something even longer. So you said the 3 letters. I think that's what most people are familiar with.
Okay.
Ozu,
yeah. So she got married last year, and we found out about it this year. To each his own. I don't think that it's an issue whenever you show off your spouse. Before you get married, I don't see an issue with you broadcasting your marriage. I don't see an issue with you hiding your marriage for your own personal sanity. I don't have a problem with none of that. I thought it was cute. Because this is the times when people be like, like Issa Rae. Remember when Issa got married? We just popped up. She got married. A lot of people are like, yeah, don't show off your spouse. You shouldn't do it. Don't tell me what to do. Like, I'm fully grown. I'm like fully grown. And if I want to do PDA and I want to show him off and the shit don't work, the shit just didn't work. That's just what it happened. I just get tired of people always, because you shouldn't be broadcast. People will tell you not to broadcast your success. Don't broadcast your success because of the haters. Fuck them haters. Like, why I gotta be worried about haters all the time? Why I gotta always be worried about who doing what and gonna say this and who gonna act like that? I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm grown. Ain't hurt nobody. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just congratulations to them. And as far as like sharing the spouses or posting the spouses online, like I used to do that. In this relationship, I have not shared any photos.
I know.
And I just feel like I don't know if I will until it's like actually something more, because I don't take down my pictures. Like if you on my, if I posted you, you're still there. from however long ago if you scroll down. So somebody's gonna be, scrolling all the way down looking and they gonna see everything. But now I'm just kind of like, I don't know, because I don't want to. I think sometimes people get tired. It gets almost, because people will say that, and though it's really none of their business, but it'd be like, dang, you in another relationship. You know what I mean? Like they be acting like they getting tired for you. Like they're the ones who actually enduring whatever y'all you had to go through. But for that reason, it does make me more conscious of doing that now.
Girl, I don't care. I look, relationships, dating, all of this is until I meet the right one. That's it. That's all. And I'm tired. Y'all tired of looking at it? Get off my page.
Oh yeah, they can always do that.
Maya Shaka was the first Black woman to officiate an NFL game. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Good looking out, sis. I like that. I just know they're gonna have some sexist men. What she know and this, that, and the third, because that's just what men do. Especially whenever she say something that they don't like. Oh well. So this is what. Okay, real quick. Let me go with some more. Congratulations to Blue Ivy at the age of 9. Was the youngest person to win a VMA. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
Shout out to the ladies of the editors of the Black Lady sketch show, which is on not BET. It's on HBO.
Yeah.
The Editor's Room, Daisha Broadway, Jessica Hernandez, and Stephanie Philo. Shout out to them. They are first as well as Black women, a group of Black women editors to win a Emmy. So shout out to them.
And the first to be nominated.
Huh?
Are they the first to be nominated as well?
I think so. Yeah. To be nominated. So apparently people had a problem with Zendaya wearing a 4C wig for her 25th birthday. And people were like, she's making fun of she's wearing this hair, this, and a third. But I think people forgot that Zendaya is Black.
Right. And that was what I was thinking as well. I didn't have a problem with it. I'm like, if like when it's other cultures, you can kind of say something, but being that she is Black, and if she didn't wear anything or do anything that like, exemplified her Blackness, then we still be complaining. So I'm like, you can't have it both ways,
I that's just like real quick. Somebody had posted that Rick Ross gave his son for his 16th birthday
I saw
a Wingstop, and people mad. What are you upset about today? Why are you upset about that? Like, that's generational wealth. We supposed to be able to hand over a business to our child.
Right.
I don't understand why they're upset and what's the issue. Even was in there with her 4C hair. Like, what's the issue? It kind of goes back. It goes with the whole. I seen a post on Instagram where, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I seen a post on Instagram where the girl was like, Ari Lennox didn't get as much love as Chloe, and it's Chloe because it's colorism, and Chloe is so light skinned. They make two different types of music. Like, Chloe is doing pop and popping her butt, where Ari don't do that. She do more soulful music. And although I like Ari as pretty much kind of as a person, and there's a couple of cuts that I do like, I haven't heard her song Pressure. Baby, I was feeling that whole Chloe bit. You know what I'm saying? But people got a problem with that. It's like people, especially Black people, it seemed like they seem to want to find a problem with something within our race. And we're supposed to be looking, it's kind of like a couple. We're supposed to be looking like a united front, and we can't even look like a united front, because if you too light skinned, I got a problem with that. If you too dark skinned, I got a problem with that. If you winning this award and you're light skinned, it's colorism. If you win this award because you're dark skinned, oh, you deserve that. Like, do not matter. Like, that really annoys me. It annoys me so much.
Well, I totally get it though. We had a long conversation about that, also including the whole with the national anthem thing too, but I won't go all into that. But I get what you're saying though. So let's get into our sponsor for the week, which is Jador Awareness Apparel. Let me tell you all a little bit about them. So, Jador Awareness Apparel is a high-end limited edition line that features unique individuals doing extraordinary things. And you all can find them at JadorAwarenessApparel.com, as well as they are on Instagram as Jador Awareness Apparel and Facebook with the same thing. And just to spell that out for you, there's JADORE Awareness, AWARENESS Apparel, APPAREL. So, thank you all for being our sponsor this week. And now we're going to get into our trailer before we bring our guest on in just a second.
Ladies, don't get mad. Please don't get upset with me. What? Excuse me? Me? Let me show you.
But for me, that has been my way of leaving a digital footprint.
Maybe she's not saying it wrong. It's just you don't like the tone.
And I know I'm emotional. I'm not going to.
Sorry, not sorry.
You know, and sometimes self-care looks that way.
Hi, and welcome to Theories and Thoughts podcast, Ms. Lawrence.
Hi.
I mean, you're like waiting for the trailer to go off. It happens.
I was sitting here like, okay.
You cute. How you doing?
Thank you, darling. Huh?
How you doing?
I am wonderful. Just excited about life right now and what's going on. Hi, ladies. Hi. I am a fan of Swagger, so thank you so much for having me on here. Thoughts and Theories. What?
Thank you. Please take a second. We find that it's easier for our guests to tell our audience who they are than us to stumble on a bio. So can you please tell our guests who you are?
Oh my gosh. I am just a little black girl that came from the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
I had a dream and a vision that one day I would be somewhere in television, if not on it, owning it. And so I started out as a publicist. I spent 16 years in that business. And from there, I went on to produce All Man Rock, which is a men's talk show. And, oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And today I am the president and owner and developer of Exposure TV Network. I just recently closed a $2.5 million deal with HBO. I can't be no more happier than I am.
Yeah. I know you're excited about life.
Oh my gosh. But I'm here. I am here.
So what was it that attracted you to TV?
Oh my gosh. My parents were thespians. So I grew up in a household where theater was like a second language to us. And so let me just kind of get right. I don't know which way to go. I got to get right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was on the sideline. But so yeah, they were a Pan-Africanist. And Pan-Africanist just means that they had a study of Africology. And so I remember my father teaching us about Malcolm X. We grew up in the Nation of Islam. And one thing that stuck in my head is he said that media had the power to change history. It could change anything, any narrative. It had the ability to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And so when I heard that, I was like, so media really is the answer to what could change the narrative for our lives.
But this it sounds so simple, but it's actually really deep. And I studied within the nation. I'm not in the nation, but I did study within it. So just the whole principle, that whole lifestyle, I get that, and it teaches you to be more self-sufficient. That's what I love most about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I was saying it. My father was very strict on us, so entrepreneurship was something that was written in our DNA. From birth, I knew I would never work for anyone. I've never had a job. I couldn't even tell you what it is to go get a job. Somebody told me I was going to get a job. It felt like I was going to a plantation, and I could not do that.
Girl.
I'm not going to somebody else's plantation to help build their dream. That I ain't doing today, not tomorrow. So, and it was just that. It was for me, business ownership was to create legacy for our family. I came from that. I stayed in it, and here we are today, 25 years later. Mm-hmm.
That's dope. You getting some love from Treasure.
Treasure. You're saying it right.
But thank you.
She said, "Amen." She said, "Hi, Tam, and hi, Swagger." And she said, "Amen." Not a part of the nation, but I feel like that as well, Tam, about media. I do too. I do as well. Media can write the story. It tells us. I mean, why you think that they say it the way they do? When white men get caught, they talk about their college and different things. If a black man, something happens with him, he's done this. They find any little thing to grab hold to, and it should be much different. And that's why we need black media sources like Exposure and like Swagger, and like Theories and Thoughts, because we are here to tell the narrative, tell if they went to college, tell all the other things outside of what the other media sources will tell. And it just makes me very angry a lot of times because, and Fancy has touched on this before, where people will be like, well, mainstream media ain't doing this. Well, black media is calling these things out. Black media is talking about these different things, but you're not looking at black media. Why do you want to keep running to mainstream media and telling them what they're not doing when we've already created a platform to have these stories and we're trying to push them out, but you're not supporting it?
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things is that when we call something mainstream, we defined it as if it was better.
Right.
But what really is mainstream media? Because I think that if black media would take more a moral obligation to our listeners and viewers and put out content that's not entertaining, but content that's educating and inspiring and informing our listeners and our viewers, I think then we can make a difference. But if we keep putting out content that's just entertaining and about celebrities, I really don't care about celebrities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not information that I think today we should be worried about. We should worry about the 64,000 African American women that are missing in this country, and nobody's talking about that.
Right.
We should worry about the pipeline to prison. Nobody's talking about that, but it's affecting our children. There is so much that we could sit here and go on that I think that it's up to us to change the narrative.
Right.
It's on us this time. It's
I
not
agree.
like America.
I agree, and that's what drew me to Swagger, because it wasn't so much of celebrity news. It was, and even whenever because I started off as a brand ambassador and a journalist, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Fancy never pushed for the celebrity stuff so much. It was always what you're gonna come up with, and different things. And that's why I honor her the way, because we have to tell our own stories in our own communities, who's doing what. And like you said, about the black women that's missing, how to stop this prison, this pipeline, to prison.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, you are the Oprah of today. You are beautiful, you're amazing, and you're doing this right here. So we got to celebrate and tell your story.
Right.
So we were at the 100-year anniversary in Black Wall Street in Tulsa, and not anniversary, the memorial.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were there, I met some of the most amazing people, the elders in our community, elders that are going back to Ghana and they're building in Ghana. All of these amazing people. But I said, you know what? Nobody's telling your story. And that's where we have to tell the story. In our basement, when I was a kid, we had encyclopedias and these Black history books that my parents used to teach from. And I started looking for those books now. And I actually archive things and then place it in the Smithsonian to make sure that 100 years from now, I want to make sure that my children understand who we were and who we are. And it's for us to mark right now as if you were on a tree and said, Tam Lawrence was here. And if you said Miss Davis was here and Fancy was here, what do you want them to remember about you? What did you do? What was your accomplishments? How were you a thread in America that knitted things together for our children? And that's what's so important about media today and about our lives. It's just for us to tell our stories. And television is about telling the vision. That's why I call it television. Mm-hmm.
So how did you get your network started? Well, for one, just to let everyone know. So as you mentioned, our talk show, Theories and Thoughts Deep Dive, is on Exposure TV Network. And you all can, of course, view the show as well as other shows. There's tons of shows on there. And there's a lot of other content as well. And just even listening to you talk about this is the first time we've really had a chance to speak like this. It makes more sense now about a lot of the content that is on the app as well. Like I kind of grasp that better as well. But can you tell us more about Exposure TV Network and, just how you got started all together with it?
Well, first and foremost, it was to celebrate the diaspora of African American women in cinema. So in March of 2020, we were getting on the plane to go to New York to the film festival. And as we got off the plane, Tara called and said, turn around. It's not happening. And I'm thinking, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I have written my whole entire business plan around going to the film festivals and really trying to grab content that was developed by African American women from Canada to New York. We had a whole entire little stage thing that we were going to do. Well, that kind of went down with the pandemic. So for me, it was, we got to figure out how can we help? How can we Uberize this thing? How can we get it to people where they can make money and they can stay alive and they can put out content? And I see content creators on YouTube making $1.74 per thousand. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, for real, that's what we doing? And then if you read the legal jargon, YouTube owns your content. You're putting it on a platform that's a public domain and it's owned by YouTube. And people don't understand publishing rights. And so I thought, you know what, let's launch this thing and let people from all over the country be able to put content up on the network. But one thing we are is family friendly. And I'm going to always stay that way. I don't think that we as African Americans take into consideration our children. They need a place where they can come and watch television and be appreciated and celebrated, and they can see people that look like them on television. So they can aspire to become something. You have to be inspired to aspire to become something. And so this is our way of giving back. The whole entire initiative was to celebrate African American in cinema. And so we opened up the platform and said, hey, listen, let's just give everybody an opportunity. And from it, they can monetize their content. They can control their community. They can build their community. And so that's what we did. Now, was this easy? Mm-mm. Did I lose a lot of money along the way? Mm-hmm. I had developers who developed an app. The first one was $40,000. Literally tanked me because there was no pivot. There was no way for us to scale. I had to throw the whole entire app out the window and start all over from scratch in the middle of a pandemic. I was like, okay, God, you got jokes, but I got a bigger joke. Watch this. So I'm going to lean not to my own understanding, but I'm going to continue to keep going unapologetically because I know that it'll come from somewhere. Now, starting all over was like, okay, pull out another credit card, pay for another app, let's go. And we did 800,000 downloads in a pandemic. So it was just like, whoa, here we go, y'all. But are we finished yet? This is only the beginning.
Right.
This is only the beginning. The way that we set this thing up, every time I would meet with Mr. Jacobs from HBO, he would say, You are a genius. And I'm thinking, I don't even see it yet. You know, I'm
Right.
only seeing just a little bit of the efforts that we're putting forth. I need to see us celebrate one another in a way that you and I get each other. I need you to understand that I love you, that I'll give you more than you will ever ask for. That is the heart of this network. That is who we are as a people. And in order for us to make change, we have to lead by example. Leading by example is not a conversation, it is an action. So
Yes.
one must put forth that action and do it. You are either a part of the problem or you're the solution. So how are we gonna do this? That's how we did it.
Everything you said. I'm like everything you said, and I I appreciate it because I never when Fancy brought it to my attention, I was like, we never talked about the talk show. Like we gonna do what? And but it has opened my eyes to other things, you know, and I absolutely love it. And I feel like we put on something quality in things. I just have to stop cussing so much. But
I don't watch your show now.
I don't cuss on the show because Fancy makes sure I don't. So you're like, oh, you can't. No, not on. And look, I'm working on me. God is still working on me. Pray for me. Just pray for me. But no, what was I about to say? In the whole thing, I feel like you're making little girls and little boys' dreams come true, things that they never thought that they would do. You know, I tell people all the time, if somebody would have told me I'd have had a podcast, I'd have been like, what are you talking about? If they'd have told me I had a talk show and we about to drop season 2, I'd be like, what? No, that's not about to happen, you know. But it is the beauty of this that we have a network that supports us. And you should still check out our show if you haven't. I mean, it's good content.
Oh, I watch.
Oh,
believe me.
It's good. It's good
I
content.
spend my days watching shows. So I've already watched it. Believe if I'd have heard beep, I'd have been like, what's wrong?
No.
Arnya Davis.
Like now you know.
I really love your show. I think you guys you blend well. Everything that you do is always done in good taste, and so I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So yeah, like I said, I'm a big Swagger fan. I've been watching her for years, so she just don't know it, but I watch. I'm pretty.
So I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, I said I'm pretty nosy that way. As a publicist, that's your job to be nosy. But we go back a long time when exposure first started. I seen Swagger come out. There was all these other publications. And one thing I always wanted to do was get all of the Black women who are independent magazine owners together. I think we need to have that conversation. And it's time because divided, there's no way in God's green earth that any of us are going to make it out here. We watch Ebony go down. We watch Jet go down. Johnson and Johnson should have been an example of what would happen to Black media. And right now we are in that phase where Black media is having to do Black Media Matters with Byron Allen and Roland Martin, right? So they're making a prime example that we don't get any of the budget. The government spends over $1 billion, I think it's $60 billion in advertisement. Black media isn't getting that, but that's because we're divided. And until we create a conglomerate and come together, there's no way in God's green earth that we're really going to get a seat at the table. Right now, corporations are able to give out 2%? They're just going to give us 2% of 100%, and you're going to give us 2%. So basically, we get the discretionary funds off the table. That's not enough for us really to pass on our media platforms as a legacy to our children. So right now, I think that Black media really is in a space and time where we got to get serious and really sit down and have that conversation. I'm also a registered state lobbyist in Wisconsin. So when I sit down and I talk politics and we look at procurement processes, I'm sitting there saying, where in the world is the budget for Black people? It says minority but minorities does not mean Black people.
Like people, right?
Diversity, inclusion doesn't mean Black people. So we have to wake up and say, okay, when do we rally together and create a party with an agenda that's going to be able to help us finance these things? Corporations should be held responsible. We spend $1.6 trillion into the economy as African Americans. We buy more hair, we buy more clothes, we buy cars every year. Yet y'all don't want to spend money with us. It's time for our networks to come together and say, let's go ahead and talk about these companies that are not spending money with us, but yet they're spending money into the prisons. So you can use your dollars for privatized prisons, but Wells and Fargo won't do an ad in a newspaper or into our magazines, but yet you got more money. Walmart has more money in prisons than they do in any Black media outlet.
Wow. And I believe it. I think it was McDonald's that currently has like a suit taking place as far as like with the advertisers. That they weren't however much they were spending with advertisers, or at least it wasn't going to any Black advertisers, basically. So I know that that's taking place at this time, if I'm not mistaken, unless they just recently settled it in some way. But I totally agree with that, as well as I just think that if we actually came together, that we could possibly do something about these printers, especially if we're actually printing, because I'm kind of getting to the point where I no longer really care for printing. We still print, but it's just getting to the point where I'm like, how much longer do I want to do this? Because I've been speaking with other kind of like we should say mentors, and they're basically like, why are you still doing this? And I still do it because I know, like Nadia was saying earlier today, she and I were online, and she was just saying, people like to see themselves in print, but it's really like we take a hit every time we do that, and people don't realize that, but we do it because that's initially what I set out to do. I wanted to be a print magazine, but it's really, it's crazy. I mean, it's almost crazy to keep doing it. Like they say, when you keep doing the same thing, and so we're doing the same thing. So yeah, and I mean, as I'm saying it, I'm like, it is crazy. Like, yeah, it really is. But I do believe that it would be good if we could come together as publishers and have some real conversations. Just there's a lot of other things that I think as well that, if we were united on one front, that we could help to change or to help to implement, just throughout the media industry. So, and I think
let's do it. Let's put it together.
Oh, please do. Let's go. We call it Be in Color Media Foundation. It was
let's do it
2 years ago. So please join us. We had these conversations. I'm at a point where I'm tired of talking about it, though.
But I'm saying bring in the other people too, and let's all have that conversation, that open dialogue. Like, I mean, I'm not a publisher, but I mean, I'm in media, but I'm like, let's do it. Let's bring everybody together, all that wants to participate, because everybody ain't gonna want to participate, but all that wants to have that conversation and come together.
I definitely am for it. I think that I'll give you guys the information for Be in Color Foundation. Would love for you guys to meet with us and talk more about what we're trying to do for the 2022. So what happened with HBO could happen for any network. That's the crazy part about it. It's really sad. Like, it took years to get here. It took 8 years before we got recognized as being something serious. And I know that if anybody is out there doing digital media platforms, either you're going to have to sell to the big guys in order for you to get the social media presence for your digital publication to move. Digital publications need to move at $16,000 a month in terms of investment as far as social media management, getting the word out there, blasts, SEO, keyword search, all of that stuff. And then you got to pay for writers, and it's a lot to go down with it. Now, the only reason why I just printed another magazine today, and so the only reason why you print is because people are still out there reading print publications, and the baby boomers are less likely to go online. But I print because baby boomers are more likely to vote. So being able to get to constituents that are voting, and I pick my zip codes for high voting ratings or whatever the case is, I know that I'm going to get politicians to invest in the magazine as the political forms start to come back out for the next in the next campaign. So I kind of follow the political campaign too as well for advertisement. But not only that, but you still have to feed you still have to feed the millennials as well as the baby boomers. And so not everybody wants to go online and read. I don't like to read a magazine online. I want to touch it and feel it. It's just it's something that we grew up with. So these babies, yeah, you might get away with digital, but the digital space is not, it's owned by, Viacom, Clear Channel. They got the digital space kind of tied up, and I still haven't figured that part out either. So I'm going to be truly honest with you. My digital space is not what I would like it to be because our readers are less likely to have social media accounts. We went after affluent African American markets. We didn't really care about just, we didn't care about the other side of the readers. We wanted to go after the affluent so that we could have the advertisement. We can get, Jimmy Choo, we can get Bentley. And in order to get those type of advertisers, we had to go after the big boys. So we go there.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's so much money out here. It's ridiculousness. It really is. It's just that we have to come together. Just imagine if our media kit was consistent of 100 magazines and 6 or 7 different, television networks. If we reach 100 million people, then how much money do you think we really could get together? Because if you got 10,000, I got 10,000, and I got 100 people that got 10,000, we could have went in there with a media kit that could have got us all paid.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the math is so easy. It's like, why are we so divided? Well, I don't care if you even mention exposure. Just give me my check.
That part.
Check. I'm out the door. As long as the message is out there. And just imagine if what happened to George, I'm not going to even go there. I'm going to go with Nipsey. When Nipsey Hussle was murdered, the media was going to try to go and say he was a gang member. He was a thug. He was this. But quickly did the people who love Nipsey Hussle change the narrative. If Black media was together cohesively, no matter what happens in this country, we would be considered mainstream media. Because if I put it out, Swagger put it out. If Swagger put it out, then Mandel put it out. If we all went together, then the message is out, and we shut down businesses. We shut down people who don't support us. We let people know we can move, I would say, together faster, and we could create a better sounding board. But one sound, one voice is not something that you see in Black media right now.
In Black culture.
Yes.
Well, I will say now, I mean, it's not a strong voice, and it's possibly not even the stories that, not even of the same example. But one thing that I've noticed in the digital media space is like, a lot of the stories are syndicated. So a lot of it is, one publication put it out, another publication puts it out, everybody is running the same stories. That's one thing that we've been trying to stray away from. Like, if everybody else has published that, then we're going to publish something else. Like, something, not a different take, but just something totally else otherwise. But I do think that there is maybe, just so what you're saying, that it just makes me think that it could be possible. It's very possible that we could do that, if maybe, I guess, with the syndication, or if it was a press release or whatever the case may be, that it is possible, because a lot of the times, a lot of that news is just redundant. You go on one news website, you see the same thing you see on this other, but and that's usually the bigger Black media sites. I don't even know if they're actually Black owned. And as I'm saying this now, I don't think they are. Just as I'm thinking more about it. Like, if you see something on Ricky Smiley's site, and then you go on this other Black media site, it's kind of the same thing. But I was just saying that, just what you're saying, that it made me think about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm thinking is content that the popular news outlets are not talking about. Like, Tulsa wasn't the first place that they committed a massacre. There was other places around the country that I'm talking about educating, not really talking. I don't care about the popular demands.
Right.
And Lil Nas dripping blood in tennis shoes. Like, for real though, that really don't, it's like, not interested. But if you got 64,000 African American women in this country missing right now, we got a problem, Houston. We got a problem. And then they want to say it's human trafficking. It's not human trafficking. I want people to get it right. I want them to get it right because I am a survivor of human trafficking. Get it right. It's not that. What this is called body snatchers. These people are taking people's bodies and taking their organs and selling them on the black market. So these people, some of these women are not alive. And one more thing too, just so people won't say, well, why would they just take black people? Is because we're the only human being on this planet that you can switch our organs out to Hispanics and white people, period. Let's just be frank. If you didn't know that, now you
do. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So as we see the baby boomer generation expand in 2021, it tripled. So by 2023, we're going to see 86% of that baby boomer going to an age where they will need more organs and things of that nature. So this isn't poor people just aging out. These are also wealthy people. So guess what? When a wealthy person ages out and you might need a kidney, you know where you go? You go to the black community, you snatch up somebody's little black kid and you take their kidneys.
Wow.
So we got to get serious here. These things are happening in our community. Why in the world has it been 3 decades since the educational public school system has never changed the inside of that classroom? Yet technology is expanding. Yet other kids are coming from other countries that have a different type of education, and our kids are not getting that education. So wait a minute, where did ADHD come from? Because when I was little, there was no such thing as ADHD and kids on Ritalin and things of this nature. So why is it all of a sudden a problem? And why is the police being called on more school kids so that they can get their fingerprints and get our children into the municipalities or into the precinct? You want to get my child into the precinct early, all you got to do is just send them to a Milwaukee public school system or to any public school system. Let me just say Milwaukee, 77% of African Americans before the age of 18 years old have seen prison. Isn't that a problem?
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is number 1. Harvard did the study, number 1 for the worst place in the world for African Americans to live. Why are we not talking about that? Yet Harvard and every other white institution is putting out information on us, but we're not doing data mining on our own people. We sitting around paying attention to the wrong damn thing. Let me just be frank. Just saying.
I think part of that is a lot of people, the culture don't care. In a sense, they don't buy in. They don't want to put a microscope on those things because now if I pay attention to this, now I got to do something about this. And I don't really want to do nothing about it.
But when you know better, you do better.
In most cases.
Yeah. Well, you will be held accountable. So I think that for us, it's not about who's going to listen to us. It's what we're going to do about it. When do we get started? Because if that was the case, I don't think Harriet would have went and took a little Dillinger gun, run across fields, snakes, and everything else to save people. She didn't think about that. Because if she would have thought about that, then it would be people, we wouldn't even have the story of Harriet Tubman. But we got the story of Harriet Tubman because she was brave enough to run in there regardless of who believed or not. And some people didn't want to go. They still thought, oh my God, we're going to die. But Harriet was like, either you going to come with me or I'm going to kill you. However you want to do it, that's up to you, player. So this is, I think that at some point in time, you can't fear what other people may think and what they're not doing. It's what we doing. What are we doing to make the difference? And I think that that's something we have to ask ourselves because every single day I wake up, I do the same thing every day. I look for girls that are out there that want to get out. I have a program that they can call. And I'm coming to get you. And then I have sponsor families across the country. I'll get you out if you want to get out. So just getting out there and doing something. And it's not something that we publicize. I don't even say the name of the organization just so pimps won't be trying to find me and, this kind of thing. But I'm out here trying to save some people. When I do an empowerment workshop, I don't go get rich women and wealthy women to go do an empowerment workshop. I go to the welfare building. People know me for walking around welfare buildings. I do it all day long. I love it. I love walking around the welfare building because I came from there. And I go back home and I sit down on the porch to talk to the women. Listen, this is how I got out, baby. This is how you can get out. I came up in a trailer park on the south side of Chicago, and if I could do it, you can do it. But you got to come up out of this situation. But first is you got to free yourself from the prison of your mind. Mm-hmm. And when you're ready, I'll be right here waiting on you. And that's what we have to give is people an opportunity. And sometimes it feels like you're giving more than you ask for. But I think that that's when you're ready to do the work. And it's something we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I see Cricket Mayfield said, you just dropped some knowledge. I love it. And Trey George called you the Harriet Tubman of media.
Hey, I'm going in. I'm going in. And as long as we got thought and theories, and we got all these amazing Black women, you guys are beautiful and amazing. I'm going to continue to keep saying that to the top of my lungs is that you just got to keep on loving on y'all. Just keep loving on y'all. Y'all keep coming, keep doing what y'all doing. And I'm going to keep lighting up these boards. That's what I'm doing. Behind the scenes, that's what I do.
And that's one of the reasons why we started this program, Theories and Thoughts. It was me and Fancy was really having conversations outside of here. So we bring on guests that are not normal guests that you will see on different things to bring in the education to the experts, well, on the podcast platform, to do that, to talk about different things in the Black community that we should be talking about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we did that. And then with the television, it's like, okay, businesses and stuff, and then conversations that are not normal. Well, it's more opinionated, but it's conversations that are not normal spoken outside of the kitchen table. That's why I call it kitchen table talk. So that's one of the reasons why we do that. But I think it's a mixture.
That's pretty cool. And that's important. It really is, because if we're not talking about it and we're not conversating about it, then who's going to create change if we don't care? I really don't think it's on white people no more. Sometimes I sit back and say, God, is the damage already done? Could this ever change? People call it Stockholm syndrome, but I don't believe that. I believe that if we keep doing this, if we keep going out here and we putting out the word and we talking to one another and we're just loving on each other unconditionally, life is about never allowing, let me just say this like this, never allowing your calling to place you in a position where your character can't keep you. I'm just saying. Because when God puts you in a position that you're to teach and to use these instruments, you can use it for bad or good. However you want to play it is up to you.
Right.
So I think that that's what we have to come to a place that get past that we're women, get past that we're Black. Get past it. I think she's trying to throw some shade. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we got nickel attitudes holding up $1. I'm just saying, it just be these nickel attitudes, and I'm like, it ain't even, it ain't even that way. I can't, the girl said to me the other day, she said, Miss Lawrence, why you don't act like, the whole HBO thing is this, because it's not. I haven't figured out how we gonna use this to further the kingdom, to push our people further. Right. Money don't make me.
Right.
When the people around me become millionaires, then I've done my work. When people around me become free from slavery, from mentality of poor, from poverty, then we've done the work. But it's never about me. So how can we use this to better the situation of exposure, to expand it so that we're reaching that community, we're reaching the people, we're out here talking. I need people that's ready to get on the ground and move. So when they're ready, they'll call me, and then we're going to move together. But at this point in time, money never made me. It wasn't about money. I really don't care about that. I'm here to make a difference before I leave this earth. I got to build a bridge so that our children could cross it. I know if it's like me, Fancy, when I first got into the magazine industry, baby, wouldn't nobody help me. Didn't nobody tell me how to get it started. I couldn't figure out where I'm getting my first client from. I use my own money to fund it. I was like, forget it. I'm gonna use my own money. I ain't got time to be trying to figure it all out. I'll figure it out as I go. Right? And that's what you had to do, because when you called on other Black people who own publications, well, nobody helping you. Well, nobody gonna tell you where to go. Matter of fact, one time I asked somebody about a printer, just a printer. I ain't even asked about nothing. Just give me a short printer that'll run a short run. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. Them folks was like, you'll figure it out. You know, money, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars later, here we are, you know. But I will give people the printer. I'll give you the name of the printer that I use. I don't care. I want you to be successful, because when you're successful, then we made a difference. Then I'm successful. Then the people around you successful. Then we're creating jobs for our children. You're creating jobs for the children that want to be journalists, broadcasters. We have to make that happen. So this program right here that you all are doing, I hope that in your local communities that you go out to the schools and you encourage little Black girls to watch your show, and then to tell them that, hey, listen, you can come and work with the production. Let them intern. Let them put their hands on it and experience this stuff so they can see themselves in our seats. Because sometime 20 years from now, when I'm sitting back watching in a rocking chair, I want to make sure that a little Tam somewhere around the country is doing exactly what I'm doing right now, because I'm going to pass the torch. I'm going to pass the torch, give it to her, let her do what she do. But we have to build this thing so it's sustainable. I'm not ever going to sell out. They said, well, you sell out to HBO for what? I'd rather not take your money before you tell me I'm going to sell out and you're going to buy me out. I'm not selling out. I'm staying the long haul, because guess what? It matters to my people that we have a space that we own.
Right. Right. And what you said was so profound, because we have to stop looking at each other as competition and more as that's my counterpart, that's my core. If we build together, we can both go up, opposed to, oh, I'm not gonna help them. And they, I always say she's not my competition, she's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's that. When you play in the majors, the minor things don't matter.
That part.
When you're a franchise player, you don't look at people like that. Michael Jordan could have never got all of the rings that he got by himself. He needed Scottie Pippen. He needed his team. Everybody had a position. You a power forward, you a front, you a center, and I think that the problem in our community is you just got to learn how to play your position.
That part.
Yeah, I'm not the girl on the front. I don't want to be the girl on the front. I want to be the girl in the back of the room that's helping with the algorithms and developing and writing and constructing things and infrastructure development. That's cool for me. I'm good. And then somebody else comes along and they say, hey, Ms. Davis is the perfect face for this product. Well, hey, Ms. Davis, how you doing? When you want to do it? It is never a problem. Never a problem. I think that is because we have been through hell as sisters. We've been through so much in our lives. We face so many traumas, and I think we don't deal with those traumas. And we need to talk about those things openly and be honest about those things. And once we're honest with ourselves, that's when we can sit here and have this conversation and love on one another and just be like, hey, this. If you ever need me, I got you. You call me, you pick up the phone, you say, hey, Tam, I need to get this. If you got something that you want to put down, and I got something that can help you get it down, I'm going to give it to you. You don't even have to pay for it for me, because it's already paid for. God had already knew we would cross paths. He made provisions for my gifts. Right. He made provisions for your gifts. He made provisions for each one. He knew we would be here tonight.
Definitely.
In that order. Not just and in that order. And so I think that's how we have to start thinking and treating one another. We gotta somebody said, I'm gonna go pray on it. It's like, now wait a minute. Now God ain't gonna take me nowhere into a place that I wasn't ready for. So if something happens, an opportunity presents itself, then that's God saying, here, baby, this is where it's at. This is what you need to accept. Now it says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm.
Right.
That means that even if you did decide that you was going to cross me on something, it ain't going to work. Because God said that he had me already. I'm covered. You good? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how we use the Bible as cliches. We just quote stuff. We say,
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm saying? God is an accessory for some people. It's a necessity for me. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm like. I literally wake up like this every single day. I'm just a basic chick from South Side in a trailer park that's trying to do my part before I leave out of here. You know, and it's like, oh, well, while you trying to take care of your kids and your family, my son in law school, he don't even need his mama. He called once a month, and if he called once a month, I'm good to get that. And he just want to chastise me. He don't want to talk about nothing else. He use words so big, I got to look them up in the dictionary. I be like, hey, what you just say? He be cussing me out in other languages. I said, okay, no, but he's a smart. You know, it's this is what you get when you walk out on faith. And
right,
you do it fearlessly, do it unapologetically.
right.
Because I'm telling you, it'll work. God, if you got it in your spirit to do it, do it. I don't care what it is. If you was like, I'm gonna make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you ever had, go out and make the best peanut butter and jelly. If that's what's on your heart and that's what God told you to do, and go out and pass it out to homeless people, then do it. And watch how it works. Watch how it reciprocates back to you. The power of manifestation is so real. It's so real. If Black women would take all of the pain, all of the trauma that you've been through, and let that manifest your purpose, you could turn it all around. Really, you can.
That's true. That's true. Right? Because I always say I'm just a girl from NOLA. I'm just a girl from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
When people be like, you doing this? I'm just a girl from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I am. This little Black girl who like you said, walk on faith. Like I said, I ain't never think, you know, and even and then we're gonna wrap up. Even with Meeting Fancy, it was just crazy. And I told her, I was like, God gave me a publication, but then when I started working with her, I was like, oh, this is the publication I was supposed to work with. It wasn't for me to have my own, it was for me to walk with her. But how many people are able to step up and say, God gave me a vision, but that vision wasn't for me, that vision was for somebody else? And I realized that. And then when I realized that, we really started growing. I was like, you know what? This is where I'm supposed to be. You know?
Wow. Oprah and Gail. Look at y'all. Y'all better stop it going. That's beautiful. I honor you for that. I honor you for that. That's the love. That's love that can pass. I mean, you don't find many people like you. That's a beautiful thing to understand that. Not even sometimes, even with the project I just finished, I'm a co-publisher. I didn't have to go co-publisher. I could have just published the magazine by myself, okay? But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to learn how to play your position. You know, everybody ain't got to be on the marquee, baby.
That part.
The people who actually make more money from projects that I've learned to work on, you don't even know that they worked on them. That's the crazy thing about it. And they don't even care that you know that they worked on them.
Right.
Yeah, and them like the people that you know, sometimes when you want that power and you want to be the leader and you want to be the person, you got to answer the phone, you got to call customer service. You baby, there's a lot of responsibility to be at the head of the table.
Listen, so that's why I hold her hand and we pray. I pray for my sis.
Yeah,
I'm sure Fancy go through.
She do.
Lord have mercy, girl. Because
I keep her covered in prayer, honey. I keep her covered in prayer.
I appreciate it.
What is it called? We need to have a focus group just for people that's in Black women in media, just to sit down and just get it all out and just cry. Because I need a box of Kleenex to tell you.
I'm telling you, let's do it. Send me the information. Send the information to the email address theoriesandthoughts@ladyceo.com for the organization, the foundation, and let's get this rolling, honey. Let's do this. We honor you for being on the program today. Thank you so very much. We wanted to. This is our anniversary month. We make 2 years as a podcast next week. And I told Vince, I said, let's bring on people who have helped us, you know. So our audio visual, the person who records us, who does the video, he was on last week. And I said, you think Ms. Lawrence would come on? She was like, well, try it. I was like, okay, let me send this email then. And I was like, well, she might not. But I'm so blessed that you came on. Thank you so much. I got to meet you now and everything. And this was such a blessing. Do you have anything coming up that you want to make sure our audience stay tuned to?
Oh my gosh. Just keep on watching. Download Exposure Network TV on your Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, as well as Android television. Get ready for the hottest season in television because we are going to be dropping some really great content on the platform. And this weekend, I will be in Troy. There you go. There you go. Yeah. I will be in Troy, Michigan, where we're launching the Keynote magazine. So, yes, that's where it's at. So, the party starts September, I think it's September 17th. So, we'll be there. And that's what I'm doing right now is just getting ready for October. October is going to be one of the hottest months, I think, ever for. And then we have the holiday vending situation that's going on. So, we just started a Home Shop Network channel. And so, yeah, that's going to be explosive. We're trying to really get Black people to understand it's important for them to make QVC moments. And so we're creating a whole entire home shop network similar to QVC. And I would hope that vendors will sign up. And that's where we're at right now.
I'm going to have to check it out because I got some stuff.
Oh, have you heard of lemon burn before?
Lemon burn?
Oh, y'all got to look that up. Honey, I dropped 2 pounds in less than 4 days.
Lemon burn?
Oh, it burned.
What is it called?
It's called lemon burn. Let me grab the outfit. So this thing right here, I put this on. Y'all seen that little vest thing?
Oh.
Hold on one second. It's called lemon burn and go to completely length. And so she will be on the program. It is, go this way.
Got it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you put this on, but it's this thing that you drink, and it's lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper. It's all mixed already for you, and it's burning the fat, and it's getting rid of that tummy fat. Oh,
it don't even sound good. But is it a shot or is it?
Oh, it's good. Stop it! Don't do that. Don't make that face.
Okay, Sam, I'm gonna try it because I got some belly fat. I have PCOS, so I'll try anything.
No. It all. That face. It's good. Mix it with apple juice. I mix mine with apple juice, but it's good.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right after this. But thank you so much.
This steroid, and it started blowing me up, and I was like, "What the world is this?"
I have PCOS, so I'm insulin resistant, and everything sticks on me. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I got my shirt on today. I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. Tam, on Instagram, Exposure Magazine, EXPOSURE Magazine. Facebook, Exposure Prime TV. Mm-hmm. Exposure Prime TV spelled just like that. On Instagram as well, Exposure TV Network. So thank you so much again for joining us, and we will have to have you again.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, ladies. We'll see you soon.
Mm-hmm. Bye. Bye. That was a really good conversation. A lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge. So we are over time, but that's okay. Real quick, I have on my shirt, keep calm and learn to live with PCOS. As you guys know, I do have PCOS, and September is PCOS Awareness Month, even though we didn't do anything. Normally we do a show on it, but this year, like I said, we wanted to showcase people that have worked with us. So that's what I have going on. You gonna run my trailer, my crawl?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. Okay, there you go.
I was like, she just sitting here watching me. I know you tired, sis. Y'all fancy gets up way earlier than me. So you can find me at www.ladyceo.com. That's my website. I am Lady CEO on all platforms. Arnya T.M. Davis on Facebook. If you would like to get in touch with me, Arnya at ladyceo.com. That's me.
Okay, and just I do see Cricket wanted to know what PCOS is, and it's polycystic ovarian
syndrome.
Okay. I just want to make certain that we did address that question. Okay, so guys, y'all can find me everything Swagger Magazine at swagger.net and on all social media platforms at Swagger Magazine. And I am Fancy Swagger on all platforms. And on Fridays, we will continue on with our story sharing Fridays on Clubhouse. So if you hadn't had a chance to check us out, we invite you to come check us out. Like we've been having, it's been growing each week. Last week we ended up having 3 winners because they had some amazing stories. Like, and I was just like, okay, I gotta be able to share all these stories. So I had to end up picking 3 people, but we had a bigger room than what that's the biggest room we've ever had. So I appreciate Dr. Nikki Ziegler for bringing her team of her ambassadors out. I just want to also just send a shout out to her because she has been such a blessing, and I enjoyed, I just kind of met her on Clubhouse, but she's been such a blessing since I've met her. So yeah, I think that is everything.
You have a issue coming out?
Yeah, we do also have our issue. We have taken down, it's still for pre-sale, but the pre-sale price, the original price is no longer there. So now it's at well, I guess you say the original price. The sale price is no longer there. And you all can visit that at swagger.net and check it out. Sunshine Smith Williams is our cover story. A lot of you all may know her as Sunny Money Queens on Instagram. So she is a prison reform and police reform advocate, as well as a wealth educator. So she's telling her story about her time being incarcerated and just how she's been given a second chance. So this is our second chances issue.
And real quick, Swagger was in Times Square in New York. Shout out.
Look, I forgot about that. Yes, that was like.
So that was really big. Thank you guys for staying on as long as we are. That was some great knowledge, great conversation with Tam. And we're going to see y'all later. Bye.